All right, everyone. Welcome once again. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and we are almost to Friday. Friday Eve, whatever you want to call it. If you made it this far, rejoice because you're almost there. So, um, got a little bit of Georgia Southern stuff to talk about. Also, I got a lot of Atlanta Falcons stuff to talk about again, involving wide receivers. As if you've seen the title already, we'll talk about that. But I'm going to talk about the Georgia Southern stuff first. I'm going to get into that real briefly. But before we get into that, let's talk about a few things, clean up a little, do a little housekeeping real quick, let you guys know what this podcast is about and where you can find it. If this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, talk about Georgia Southern football. We talk about Atlanta Falcons football. And those are my two favorite teams. And over here, if you're listening to this on YouTube for the first time, you'll find these episodes at 9 o'clock every morning. Also, if you're on the podcast side, where I do this on iTunes, Google Play, not SoundCloud, but Spotify, Anchor, all the platforms that you can use. I'm thinking about getting back onto SoundCloud. I've been on SoundCloud for a while, so that's why I said that. I'm so used to saying it when I used to actually do the whole spill. But nevertheless, if you're on the podcast side of things, you can also subscribe. So anytime I do upload the episode, you can listen to the podcast at your leisure. And it's always good times when I try to put out the best content possible. So I always try to push for that type of content, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Like I said, we talk about Atlanta Falcons football. We talk about Georgia Southern football. And we like to, just mix a little bit of other things. And like my last episode, I didn't talk too much about Atlanta Falcons. It was more about Tom Brady and Sean Payton, what they're going to do, what one has already done. And that's going to be talked about more down the road. So, like I said, if this is your first time here, welcome, and hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started with this. First and foremost, I want to talk about Georgia Southern football. Coach Clay Helton is already in he's already in the in the running for probably one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best coaching debuts without a game. He hasn't played a game yet, but his debut as a coach for the Georgia Southern Eagles has been phenomenal. He said last week that they're going to touch all 159 counties of the state of Georgia. As of right now, and they got 2 more days to go with today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. They are up to 121, so they're not that far away, So they're at 38, counties left. So at 38 counties in 2 days, based on what they've been doing so far, I think is attainable. And this is just phenomenal. So many relationships, so many pipelines you can make throughout the state of Georgia. By touching every county, going into every county, finding out the prominent high school or any of the high schools, all of the high schools, and just talking to the kids there, talking to the coaches, doing all that stuff is really, quite remarkable. It's really cool to see. And I want to know how this plays out. Give it a year or two, maybe 2 years. It's going to be really interesting to see how many kids from the state of Georgia are wearing blue and white. We may have like 80, maybe 85% of the kids in the state of Georgia on our team. That will be phenomenal. That'll be awesome. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm going to keep track of this. And I wonder if he's going to do this every year. What if this is a 1-year thing? What if he does this every year? That's like quite awesome. But kudos to Coach Clay Helton for getting this together, coming up with this game plan. Called it the Georgia Storm, and they stormed across the state of Georgia in 9 days. Which they said it was gonna be 4. I don't know if they went there on a Saturday. I doubt it. But in 9 days, coming up from 8 days, I'll say 8 days, from Monday through Friday to now Monday through Wednesday. 8 days, they've covered 121 counties. They got 2 more left with today and Friday. I'm almost certain that they'll be able to cover them all. I find it phenomenal. That is just quite awesome what they're doing. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what this team makeup of the team will be in the next year or two. How many Georgia players are actually going to be on the team? Is it going to be a majority, like super majority of having all those players on the team? It's going to be pretty awesome to see. But nevertheless, we're going to continue to watch that and track that to see how that goes. Now, let's get into this other topic I want to talk about. Just like I said, I want to talk about that briefly. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Episode 273. So many wide receivers available for the Atlanta Falcons in free agency. I'm going to give you a list. If you're looking at this on YouTube, you can see the list that I have on the screen. If you're not listening to this on YouTube, don't fret. I'm going to name the names as I go down the list. This is a pretty big list of receivers that are going to be, at the minimum, undrafted free agents. Some names may stick out, and those are the ones that I'll probably talk about. The ones that don't stick out, yeah, if I recognize them, I may talk about them. So the first one on the list that I'll see, if you're looking at the screen, AJ Green. For the Atlanta Falcons, knowing that the whole situation with Calvin Ridley, what happened with that. Julio Jones is not there anymore. Zacchaeus is a free agent, and we still got Tajay Sharp and a couple other guys. Yeah, we got a couple other guys. I don't see this as being the staple of what they're going to deal with. They're going to have to get some receivers, and I think they're going to try to get some as veterans, and I think this pool is really good. So, like I said, we start with AJ Green. I'm not a fan of AJ Green coming to Atlanta at his age. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of, somebody can be there who can be productive and mentoring. Depends on the price. I can see it because of price, but because of productivity, I'm not really sure. AJ Green did okay. I'm not saying that he can't do anything. He did okay, but I'm not sure that would be the move. Emmanuel Sanders, that would be a good one. That would be a good pickup in my opinion. Emmanuel Sanders still got it. And matter of fact, I think Emmanuel Sanders got some years left in him. So if the Falcons could pick him up, that'd be cool. I don't know much about Jakeem Grant. I know some other people may know. I don't know too much about him. Juju Smith-Schuster, this name has come around a couple of times as far as the Falcons possibly picking him up. I don't know about it, but it would be I think it'd be a great fit for him and Matt Ryan to get together and start, getting some chemistry. Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. Odell is not that old, and he still can be productive. I don't think the Rams will be able to afford him, so he will be in the free agency. So Odell Beckham would be a pretty good fit. T.Y. Hilton is the next one. T.Y. Hilton is getting up there in age, and I think he's a little bit up there. But he's not all the way up to like A.J. Green. I think he will be a pretty good fit, as not as a number one per se, but, another receiver that we can use. Because, I mean, he can still play, but I don't know if that's good. You're going to invest a lot into saying that he's going to be the guy. But he could be a great piece. Traquan Smith, he will be a former Saint. Traquan Smith played okay for the Saints, but I don't see it. Possibly. I'm not sure. Adam Humphries, okay. Let's see. Albert Wilson, got Alex Erickson. Allen Robinson that played for the Bears. That will be a good fit. I think that'll be really good if we can get him. Will we get him? I'm not sure. But I know if he does come to the Falcons, that is an instant upgrade. And dude, he can ball. He can play. Andre Roberts, he is a former Falcon. I think he was our return man at one point. Enough said. Auden Tate, don't know much about him. Brandon Powell, this would be a pretty good pickup. I don't have a problem with that. Brandon Zystra, no. Braxton Berrios, no. Brashad Perriman, that's would be a good pickup. We could use him. Byron Pringle, that'd be a really good. I think he plays for the plays for the Chiefs. He would be a pretty good pickup for the Falcons. I think that'd be a really good move. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a Falcon. Because he's probably be in that right range that the Falcons can necessarily afford. So that'd be cool. CJ Board, Cam Sims, Cameron Baston, no. Cedric Wilson Jr., maybe. Chad Beebe, no. Chester Rogers, Chris Conley, I could see him playing slot if we need a slot player. Chris Conley simply a Georgia Bulldog, I could see that. Chris Godwin, that wouldn't be too bad. Chris Moore, don't know. Christian Kirk is a pretty good pick. That would be a pretty good pickup, depending on if he, is going to play the slot or not. DJ Shark, no. Damian Bird, no. Danny Amendola, no. Dante Pettis, I'm not against that. Devontae Adams, instant number one wide receiver if the Falcons could pick him up. With the turmoil in Green Bay and everything that's going on there, they're over the cap. They don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams could be a good pickup, but if the Falcons can't, only because the Falcons going to have to be able to afford him. That's going to be some money right there because he demands big money. I think he would because he's like one of the top 5 receivers. DeAndre Carter, D.D. Westbrook, no. Demarcus Robinson, I heard this name before, but I'm not really familiar. I have to go. I mean, look that one up. Deshaun Jackson, no. I think that's just because of age. I put him in the same bracket as AJ Green. If they pick him up, that'd be cool, but I don't see it happening. Isaiah Ford, no. Isaiah McKenzie would not be too bad. James Washington, Jake Kumro, don't know much about him. James Washington would be an okay pick. Jamison Crowder, this would be a pretty solid pickup too, in my opinion. I think Jamison Crowder would be a pretty good fit for the Falcons. Don't expect him to be a number 1 or anything like that. John Ross, I heard this name before, but I don't know much about him. Josh Gordon, I actually thought about the Falcons picking up the Josh Gordon a while back. I honestly did. This was like before he got in trouble for like the second to the last time or last time. I thought that Josh Gordon would be a pretty good fit on the other side with Julio Jones at one point. So much talent right there. Josh Reynolds, I don't know much about him. Khalif Raymond, not much. Keelan Cole, solid player. Kenny Stills, very solid player. In my opinion, highly underrated. Would definitely put him in a veteran package with him playing in the slot or something. Possibly number 2, depends on, the situation. Kenny Stills could still play. Kadaro Hodge, don't know about him. Heard that name a few times. If you guys know anything about him, please let me know. Laquan Treadwell was a Falcon at one point, and I'm good on that. Mac Hollins, heard that name before as well. Hold on, let me go back a second. I think I missed the name. I did. Equimina St. Brown. I'm not against that name. I'm not against that. I'm not against that player. I think he can play pretty good. I think he'll be a pretty good fit. Malik Turner, Marcus Johnson, Marcus Kemp. No. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I'm not against that. He played pretty good. And I think he'd be a good fit as well. Marquise Goodwin is another one. I think he'll be a really good pickup. I think he wants to be a number 1, but I'm not sure if that will be the case. Matt Slater, solid player. I don't know if the Falcons should be able to pick him up. Michael Gallup has the tools to be a number 1, and that'll be another interesting pickup. If the Falcons or anybody would pick him up, where would they put him at? Mike Thomas, I want to say this is Michael Thomas for the Saints. I'm not really sure. I think he's still on the contract. I don't know if it's Michael Thomas or Mike Thomas. Either or, I don't want Mike Thomas or from the Saints on the Falcons. I don't. I like his size and his ability, but I don't think he can do anything outside of a 5 and slant. But that's another story for another day. Maybe that's because of Drew Brees' arm, but like I said, yeah, we know. Noah Brown, don't know much about him. Rashad Higgins, I don't know too much about him either. Let me go back up for a second. Mike Williams, I don't know which Mike Williams is. I think this is the one for the Chargers. If it is the one for the Chargers, man, that will be really interesting because he can ball. Ray McLeod, don't know much about him. Richie James, I've heard that name a couple times. Russell Gage is going to be an unrestricted free agent. I'm not sure if the Falcons will pick him up. Ryan Switzer could play a little bit. Definitely be a slot guy. Sammy Watkins. I don't know why, but I feel like Sammy Watkins' time is starting to run thin. I don't see him as I see him as an okay receiver, but not the guy that we thought he was when he was coming into the league. So Russell Gage is an unrestricted free agent for the Falcons. Tajay Sharp is an unrestricted free agent. And I think Zacchaeus is as well. So we're going to be picking up maybe 1, maybe 2 of these guys that are in this pool. as a free agent. So that's going to be really interesting. Tavon Austin, he's been fairly reliable throughout his career. Travis Benjamin, very solid receiver. Trent Sherfield, don't know much about him. Let's see. Zach Pascal, no, I heard a little bit about him. Zay Jones, maybe. Justin Watson, Tommy Lee Lewis, no and no. Alan Lazard, does he has what it takes to be a number one? Now, he's a restricted free agent, so this is going to be a little different than the unrestricted one. So I think the only team that can talk to him right now is the Packers right now. I think that's the difference between restricted and unrestricted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Christian Blake, restricted free agent. He played for the Falcons for a little bit too. Deontay Harris. All of these guys that I'm naming up until now, I'll tell you different otherwise. All of these guys are restricted free agents. Deontay Spencer, Greg Ward, Gunnar Olszewski. Olszewski. I don't know about him at all. Lil Jordan Humphrey. I heard that name before, but no. Omalad Zacchaeus, that's former Falcon. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's any other names so I don't go to every name. Okay, Preston, Stanley Morgan, no. David Sills is a pretty good receiver. Yeah, he's a pretty good receiver. But all these are ERFA. I don't know what the E stands for. Please forgive me. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can catch that. This is probably at the bottom. No, we don't say. But we're almost done. Let's see. Jamarcus Bailey. Jawan Jennings, I think he'll be pretty good wherever he goes. Penny Hart, I remember him playing for Georgia State. I'm actually surprised that he hasn't played as much as I thought he would. Terry Godwin is another one that's going to be out here. Terry Godwin is okay. And I think those are the only ones that really stand out. So that's basically what we're looking at. There's a lot of receivers that's going to be out here. All three, we got like 3 or 4 guys that was receivers for the Falcons, all unrestricted or restricted free agents for the most part. So we're going to be picking up some receivers in this free agency pool. There's no doubt about it. Who we get that's going to be the actual, big deal. Who are we actually going to get? Out of this list, I would love to see us to get Davante Adams. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the Falcons would do really good if they got Davante Adams, if they got Juju Smith-Schuster, or if they got what's the other guy? Allen Robinson from the Bears. So those are my 3. Allen Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Davante Adams. Alan Lazard is not too bad either. But those are the 4. Now, on this website, I'll have the link down in the description or into the description box so you guys can check out the list of all these receivers. At the end of this article, it says that the Falcons could possibly pick up Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. That was in their mock draft for Pro Football Focus, which, I don't know how much weight you want to add to that. But anyway, whatever that means, I think this is a pretty good receiver as well, because I think they could do pretty good if they get a couple of veterans and get a rookie receiver to help so that can help them out. That would be ideal. So with all of this going on with the Falcons and all this stuff is going on with this team or whatever, what their need, I think this is a very good situation for the Falcons. Plus, you got all these draft picks got solid draft picks for the upcoming draft. And based on what we talked about yesterday, Sean Payton for the Saints, possibly no Tom Brady. The Falcons might be in a really good position to move up in this division and possibly take the division. But we'll have to see how that plays out. Don't know how that's going to be or whatever the case may be. So, but once again, before I finish, I'm going to tell you my 3 receivers once again: Davante Adams, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Allen Robinson. One of those 3 guys if they can land those here in Atlanta, that will be awesome to see. There's a couple other guys that I will say that are actually honorable mentions. Honestly, one of them is, not just Gallup from Dallas. Also, I would not be against bringing Russell Gage back. Russell Gage played pretty good this year. And I think it'll serve him better to be a number 2 or number 3. So you just got to look at all the scenarios, but based on everybody that I named, those are the guys I would try to get on this team. I think they'll do a phenomenal job. I think Matt Ryan could get the ball to him as long as he stay upright, and I think we could be pretty successful with what we do going forward. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to close it out on that note because, I don't like to keep you guys around past, between 20 and 30 minutes. And shout out to Coach Clay Helton, moving throughout the state of Georgia, getting all the counties in order. So, well, I ain't gonna say get them in order. Going to see at all the schools in every county in the state of Georgia, trying to find a way to create a pipeline of relationship and possibly get some recruits from these schools. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we have, out of, our team, I think we could hold up to 90 players or something like that. I can't remember in college, or 70 players. I would not be surprised if 80% of those kids would be from Georgia the way they're pushing. Also with the Falcons, all these receivers that are out here, it's going to be really interesting to see if they pick up 2 or 3 and still try to draft a receiver later on. I don't see a problem with that because we really need receivers, man. We really, really need them. We didn't have much of receivers in this past season. I mean, they did the best they could, but truly none of those guys are like number ones. We had some guys that should have been number 3s playing number 1s. It's been all over the place, but we'll see how that plays out. If you like this content and you're on the YouTube side of this, hit the like button, share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're on the podcast side, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Every time I put up an episode, it should pop right on up. And if you use your app or whatever app you like to use the right way, you can actually get it to automatically download to your phone. So you don't even have to think about it. Just go in, press the button, and I'll start talking. So that's going to be the plan with that. Hopefully, you guys will continue to support. I can't thank you guys enough. I told you about the analytics, how they jumped up this month because I've been doing daily shows. It's all thanks to you guys because you guys come out and try your best to support the channel. Try your best to support the content and give feedback at the same time. I really appreciate y'all. All right, we'll be doing this again tomorrow, which is Friday, and then the weekend starts. So hopefully you guys be safe. Hopefully everything goes well, and you guys continue to be blessed. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a happy Thursday. Peace.